The Confederation of North, Central America and Caribbean Association Football is the continental governing body for association football in North America. That includes Central America and the Caribbean regions. 3 South American entities, the independent nations of Guyana and Suriname and the French Department of French Guiana, are also members. Concacaf's primary functions are to organize competitions for national teams and clubs, and to conduct Men's World Cup and Women's World Cup qualifying tournaments. Concacaf was founded in its current form on the 18th of September 1961 in Mexico City, Mexico, with the merger of the NAFC and the CCCF, which made it one of the then 5, now 6 continental confederations affiliated with FIFA: Canada, Costa Rica, Cuba, El Salvador, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, Mexico, Netherlands, Antilles, Nicaragua, Panama, Suriname and United States were founding members. CONCACAF is the third most successful FIFA confederation. Mexico dominated CONCACAF men's competition early on and has since won the most Gold Cups since the beginning of the tournament in its current format. The Mexican national team is the only CONCACAF team to win an official FIFA tournament by winning the 1999 FIFA Confederations Cup. They have also reached the round of 16 for the past 6 World Cups. While the U.S. is the only country outside of Europe and South America to receive a medal in the World Cup, finishing third in 1930, they also reached the 2002 World Cup quarter-finals and the 2009 Confederations Cup final. Between them, Mexico and the U.S. have won all but one of the editions of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. In recent years, Costa Rica has become a power in the region and in 2014 became the 4th CONCACAF country after the United States, Cuba, and Mexico to make the World Cup quarter-finals. The United States has been very successful in the women's game, being the only CONCACAF member to win any of the 3 major worldwide competitions in women's football: the World Cup, the Olympics, and the Algarve Cup. Governance. CONCACAF is led by a General Secretary, Executive Committee, Congress, and several standing committees. The Executive Committee is composed of 8 members, 1 President, 3 Vice Presidents, 3 members, and 1 female member. Each of the 3 geographic zones in CONCACAF is represented by 1 Vice President and 1 member. The Executive Committee carries out the various statutes, regulations, and resolutions. Leadership. The first leader of CONCACAF was Costa Rican Ramon Col Jaume. He had overseen the merger between the North American Football Confederation and the Confederación Centroamericana y del Caribe de Football. In 1969, he was succeeded in the role by Mexican Joaquín Soria Terrazas, who served as president for 21 years. His successor Jack Warner was the CONCACAF president from 1990 to 2011, also for 21 years. Warner was suspended as president on the 30th of May 2011 due to his temporary suspension from football-related activity by FIFA following corruption allegations. Chuck Blazer was the General Secretary during the same period. On the 20th of June 2011, Jack Warner resigned from the presidency of CONCACAF, and removed himself from all participation in football. In the wake of the corruption investigation resulting from the 10th of May 2011 meeting of the Caribbean Football Union, the Vice President of CONCACAF, Alfredo Hort, acted as president until May 2012. In May 2012, Cayman Islands banker Jeffrey Webb was installed as president of CONCACAF. On the 27th of May 2015, Webb was arrested in Zurich, Switzerland on corruption charges in the U.S. Victor Montiliano, leader of the Canadian Soccer Association, was elected as president of CONCACAF in May 2016. Corporate structure. Concacaf is a non-profit company registered in Nassau, Bahamas. The headquarters of the Concacaf are currently located in the Admiral Financial Center, Georgetown, Cayman Islands, the home city of Concacaf President Jeffrey Webb. Previously, they were based in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago under the presidency of Jack Warner. The administration office of Concacaf is located in Miami, the hometown of Enrique Sanz, the General Secretary. Enrique Sanz was appointed as the Concacaf General Secretary in July 2012. It was previously located in Trump Tower, New York when Chuck Blazer was the General Secretary. There is also an office in Guatemala City, which is shared with UNCAF, and an office in New York. Members. Concacaf has 41 member associations, 27 from the Caribbean, 7 from Central America, 4 from North America, 3 from South America. M equals men's national team. W equals women's national team 1, inside the North American zone, but CFU member. 2, South American country or territory, but CONCACAF member. 3, full CONCACAF member, but non-FIFA member. NA, not applicable, not available, and no answer. Bonaire were promoted from an association member to a full member at the 29th Ordinary CONCACAF Congress in Sao Paulo on 10 June 2014. Potential future members of CONCACAF include the Dutch territories of Saba and Saint Eustatius, the French territories of Saint Barthélemy and Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and a Danish territory of Greenland. Saint Barthélemy, Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and Greenland have functioning international teams. Teams not affiliated to the IOC are not eligible to participate in the Summer Olympics football tournament. As a result, they do not participate in the CONCACAF Men's Pre-Olympic Tournament, the CONCACAF Women's Pre-Olympic Tournament. Membership relation. Elections at the CONCACAF Congress are mandated with a one-member, one-vote rule. The North American Football Union is the smallest association union in the region with only 3 members, but its nations have strong commercial and marketing support from sponsors, and they're the most populous nations in the region. The Caribbean Football Union has the ability to outvote NAFU and UNCAF with less than half of its membership. Consequently, there is a fractious relationship between members of CFU, UNCAF and NAFU. This provoked former acting President Alfredo Huitlobby for the CONCACAF presidency to be rotated between the 3 unions in CONCACAF in 2011. Trinidad's Jack Warner presided over CONCACAF for 21 years, and there was little that non-Caribbean nations could do to elect an alternative. Under Warner, the CFU members voted together as a unit, with Warner acting as a party whip. It happened with such regularity that sports political commentators referred to the CFU vote as the Caribbean bloc vote. Warner rejected the idea in 1993 of merging several smaller nations' national teams into a pan-Caribbean team. His reasoning was that the nations were more powerful politically when separate than when together. He commented that being small is never a liability in this sport. Competitions. The Gold Cup and the Champions League are the 2 most visible CONCACAF tournaments. CONCACAF Gold Cup. The CONCACAF Gold Cup is the main association football competition of the men's national football teams governed by CONCACAF, held since 1991. The Gold Cup is CONCACAF's flagship competition, and the Gold Cup generates a significant part of CONCACAF's revenue. The Gold Cup determines the regional champion of North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. The Gold Cup is held every 2 years. 12 teams compete for the Gold Cup, 3 from North America, 5 from Central America, and 4 from the Caribbean. The Central American teams qualify through the Central American Cup, and the Caribbean teams qualify through the Caribbean Cup. The winners of 2 successive Gold Cups face each other in a playoff to determine the Concacaf entrant to the next Confederations Cup. If the same team has won the Gold Cup on both relevant occasions, there will be no playoff and the team automatically qualifies for the Confederations Cup. Concacaf Champions League. The Concacaf Champions League, originally known as the Concacaf Champions Cup, is an annual Continental Club Association football competition organized by Concacaf since 1962 for the top football clubs in the region. It is the most prestigious international club competition in North American football. The winner of the Champions League qualifies for the FIFA Club World Cup. The tournament consists of 2 stages. The group stage is played from August to October, and the knockout phase spans March through May. 24 teams compete in each Champions League, 9 from North America, 12 from Central America, and 3 teams from the Caribbean. The North American and Central American teams qualify through the national leagues or other national tournaments, while the Caribbean teams qualify through the CFU Club Championship. The title has been won by 28 different clubs, 17 of which have won the title more than once. Mexican clubs have accumulated the highest number of victories, with 31 titles. The second most successful league has been Costa Rica's Primera Division with 6 titles in total. The most successful club is the reigning champion, Club America from Mexico, with 7 titles. Fellow Mexico side Cruz Azul is just behind with 6. Current title holders. Other competitions. Defunct competitions. CONMEBOL tournaments. The following CONMEBOL tournaments have CONCACAF competitors. National teams. Copa America. Clubs. Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana, Copa Merconorte. Rankings. National teams. Last updates. Men's national teams, women's national teams, the 24th of June 2016. For a complete list of national rankings, see the FIFA Rankings website. * provisionally listed due to not having played more than 5 matches against officially ranked teams. * inactive for more than 18 months and therefore are not officially ranked. Rankings. Clubs. Corruption. At the Concacaf Congress in May 2012 in Budapest, Hungary, legal counsel John P. Collins informed the members of Concacaf of several financial irregularities. Collins revealed that Jack Warner, the former Concacaf president, had registered the $22 million Dr. João Havelange Center of Excellence Development in Port of Spain under the name of 2 companies that Warner owned. In addition, Warner had secured a mortgage against the asset in 2007 which the Concacaf members were also unaware of. The mortgage was co-signed by Lyle Austin, a former vice president of Concacaf. The loan defaulted. Collins also revealed that Concacaf, despite most of its income coming from the United States, had not paid any tax to the Internal Revenue Service since at least 2007 and had never filed a return in the United States. Although Concacaf is a registered non-profit organization in the Bahamas and headquartered in Port of Spain, Trinidad, they have an administration office in New York, and BDO and Concacaf invited the IRS to investigate potential liabilities. It is thought that Concacaf may have to pay up to $2 million plus penalties. Chuck Blazer stated that a full financial audit into Concacaf by New York-based consultancy BDO was delayed due to the actions of Jack Warner and his personal accountant, and the accounts could not be signed off as a consequence. In addition, Blazer is to sue Concacaf for unpaid commission of sponsorship and marketing deals which he had made in 2010 during his time as General Secretary. Blazer received a 10% commission on any deal that he made on behalf of Concacaf. The Bermuda FA asked members of Concacaf to lobby FIFA to remove Blazer from his position on the FIFA Executive Committee. Blazer suggested that it was less to do with financial irregularities and more for his role in the removal of Jack Warner in the Caribbean Football Union corruption scandal. "I spent 21 years building the Confederation and its competitions and its revenues, and I'm the one responsible for its good levels of income. I think this is a reflection of those who were angry at me having caused the action against Warner. This is also a reaction by people who have their own agenda." Jack Warner presided over Concacaf for 21 years. Warner was one of the most controversial figures in world football. Warner was suspended as president on the 30th of May 2011 due to his temporary suspension from football-related activity by FIFA following corruption allegations. A power struggle developed at Concacaf following the allegations against Warner. The allegations against Warner were reported to the FIFA Ethics Committee by Chuck Blazer, the Secretary-General of Concacaf. The acting president of Concacaf, Lyle Austin, sent Blazer a letter saying he was terminated as General Secretary with immediate effect. Austin described Blazer's actions as inexcusable and a gross misconduct of duty and judgment, and said the American was no longer fit to hold the post. The Executive Committee of Concacaf later issued a statement saying that Austin did not have the authority to fire Blazer, and the decision was unauthorized. On the 20th of June 2011, Jack Warner resigned from the presidency of Concacaf, all posts with FIFA, and removed himself from all participation in football. In the wake of the corruption investigation resulting from the 10th of May 2011 meeting of the Caribbean Football Union, the vice president of Concacaf, Alfredo Hort, acted as president until May 2012. Indicted Concacaf individuals. Several Concacaf officials have been indicted. Hall of Fame. Source: President's Award. 2013 Carlos Ruiz for speaking out against match-fixing in Guatemala. Ian Gaynor for reporting an offer of a bribe. 2015 United States for winning the 2012 Summer Olympics Women's Football Tournament. Mexico for winning the 2012 Summer Olympics Men's Football Tournament. World Cup participation. Legend first, champion second, runner-up, third place, fourth place. QF quarterfinals. R16 round of 16. GS group stage. 1S first knockout stage. Did not qualify, did not enter, withdrew, and hosts. World Cup results: only 10 Concacaf members have ever reached the FIFA World Cup since its inception in 1930. 5 of them are accomplishing the feat only once. No team from the region has ever reached the final at the World Cup, but the United States reached the semi-finals in the inaugural edition, for which they were awarded third place. Concacaf members have reached the quarterfinals 5 times. Cuba in 1938, Mexico as hosts in 1970 and 1986, the United States in 2002, and most recently, Costa Rica in 2014. Jamaica is the smallest country to ever win a World Cup match by virtue of the 2-1 victory over Japan in 1998. The following table shows the Concacaf representatives at each edition of the World Cup, sorted by number of appearances. World Cup hosting. Concacaf nations have hosted the FIFA World Cup 3 times. The 1970 FIFA World Cup took place in Mexico, the first first World Cup tournament to be staged in North America, and the first held outside Europe and South America. Mexico was chosen as the host nation in 1964 by FIFA's Congress ahead of the only other submitted bid from Argentina. The tournament was won by Brazil, the victorious team led by Carlos Alberto, and featuring players such as Pelé, Gerson, EOZyo, Rivellino, and Tostao, is often cited as the greatest ever World Cup team. They achieved a perfect record of wins in all 6 games in the finals. Despite the issues of altitude and high temperature, the finals produced attacking football which created an average goals per game record not since batted by any subsequent World Cup finals. The 1970 finals attracted a new record television audience for the FIFA World Cup and, for the first time, in color. In 1986, Mexico became the first country to host the FIFA World Cup twice when it stepped in to stage the 1986 FIFA World Cup after the original host selection, Colombia, suffered financial problems. Colombia was originally chosen as hosts by FIFA in June 1974. However, the Colombian authorities eventually declared in November 1982 that they could not afford to host the World Cup because of economic concerns. Mexico was selected on the 20th of May 1983 as the replacement hosts, beating the bids of Canada and the United States, and thereby became the first nation to host 2 World Cups. This second World Cup in Mexico came 16 years after the first one in 1970. The United States won the right to host the 1994 FIFA World Cup, defeating bids from Brazil and Morocco. The vote was held in Zurich on July 4, 1988, and only took 1 round, with the United States bid receiving a little over half of the votes by the EXCO members. FIFA hoped that by staging the world's most prestigious football tournament there, it would lead to a growth of interest in the sport. One condition FIFA imposed was the creation of a professional football league, Major League Soccer, starting in 1996. The U.S. staged a hugely successful tournament, with average attendance of nearly 69,000, breaking a record that surpassed the 1966 FIFA World Cup average attendance of 51,000 thanks to the large seating capacities the American stadiums provided for the spectators in comparison to the smaller venues of Europe and Latin America. To this day, the total attendance for the final tournament of nearly 3.6 million remains the highest in World Cup history. Despite the expansion of the competition to 32 teams at the 1998 World Cup, Concacaf is considered a favorite to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup, given that Europe will host in 2018, Asia in 2022, and South America is pushing for the 2030 centenary bid. Women's World Cup results. The following table shows the Concacaf representatives at each edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup, sorted by number of appearances. Other international tournaments. FIFA Confederations Cup, Copa America. Mexico has finished runners-up twice and third place 3 times at the Copa America, making El Tri the most successful non-CONMEBOL nation. The U.S. national team and Honduras have reached the semi-final stage once in the South American tournament, while Costa Rica has reached the quarterfinals twice.